Hey guys, we are going to keep working on our scaled graph lessons. So remember yesterday we talked about our learning target. So let's review. Today our learning target is still draw a scaled picture graph and scaled bar graph to represent a data set with several categories. Solve 1 and 2 step how many more and how many less problems using information presented in scaled bar graphs. Remember also we discussed what a picture graph is and what a bar graph is. A picture graph is a graph that uses pictures or symbols to show data and always will have a key, so it's really important to be checking out that key. And then a bar graph is a graph that uses bars to show data and it's going to have a scale. Okay, so connect to prior knowledge. Let's activate our schema. Let's get started for the day. How many days had no rain? How many days had no rain? So there is a couple words. There are a couple words in there that will help you to understand what you're looking for. Those key words were had no rain. So if you said there were 5 days that didn't have rain, you are correct. 5 days without rain. So sunny days, daily weather last week, sunny we had 1, 2, 3, and cloudy days we had 4, 5. So 5 days without rain. Now, if you haven't gotten a scratch piece or a piece of paper or a pencil, go grab that now so you can follow along and join me on our math lesson. I'll give you about 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's get started on today. Make sense of the problem. So remember, just like in the classroom, we're going to read it 3 times, and each time we're going to be thinking about different things. So right here, what is the problem about? Let's figure it out. We are looking at this picture graph here with the title favorite season, winter, spring, summer, fall, and each smiley stands for 5 students. All right, what is the problem about? Follow along as I read aloud. Jamie asks students in his school to choose their favorite season. The picture graph shows how students answered. How many more students chose summer than chose winter as their favorite season? What is the problem about? Well, it's their favorite season. That's what this problem is about. What is your favorite season? Now, let's read it again and think about what are you trying to find out? What are you trying to find out? Jamie asks students in his school to choose their favorite season. The picture graph shows how students answered. How many more students chose summer than chose winter as their favorite season? So what are you trying to find out? You're trying to find out how many more students chose summer than winter. Now, what information is important? Let's read it all together. Jamie asks students in his school to choose their favorite season. The picture graph shows how students answered. How many more students chose summer than chose winter as their favorite season? So I'm going to get the pen out. I'm going to underline each little emoji stands for 5 students. And I'm going to underline how many more students chose summer than winter. So that is the key information that you should have picked out of this problem. Good job. All right. Now, I want you to solve it. I'll give you about a minute and a half, maybe 2, to solve and figure out how many more students chose summer than chose winter as their favorite seasons. And I want you to think about what seasons are we only looking at, and this is the only information that we are worried about right now, okay? So go ahead and solve it on your scratch piece of paper. Even though there are 4 seasons listed, we're only worried about 2 of them right now. If we think about what we're being asked, we're only worried about summer and winter, okay? Then I want you to think about, if we're only worried about summer and winter, what does each smiley stand for? 5. Maybe your work will look like mine, okay? So each little smiley stands for 5 students. And like we practiced yesterday, we multiplied the key times how many basketballs. So we can multiply the key, which is 5, times how many smileys for winter. So 4 times 5 is 20. Or you can count by 5s 4 times. 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, now let's look at summer. We have 6 smileys, and each of those smileys stands for 5. So 6 times 5 is 30. Or you could count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, then we have to find the difference because it said how many more. How many more is telling us to subtract, finding the difference. So then we need to subtract 30 minus 20, and we find out that 10 more students chose summer. Okay, you can also replace the smileys with 5s like we did yesterday, and again following the same thing. 30 minus 20 equals 10. Our final answer with a label is 10 more students chose summer. Okay. Now, picture it. We're going to find and look at some new strategies. You can use pictures to understand the problem. Remember, each little smiley stands for 5 students. So, for winter, they drew it out even further. 1, 2, 3, 4 smileys, and with each smiley, they have 5 little people. So you can visually see that there are 30 people. For summer, they follow the same pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 smileys with 5 people underneath them. Okay. So not only can you use pictures to understand the problem, you can use number lines. Anya, here you go, girl. You love number lines. This is for you. So you can also use number lines to help understand the problem. Remember that each little smiley emoji stands for 5 students. When you're using the number line, you start hopping from your 0. So 5, 10, 15, 20 for winter. And for summer, following the same system, start at 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So a couple other strategies that you can use to help you figure out figure out what data is shown on picture graphs and graphs. All right, let's make some connections and explain your thinking. So what was the problem asking us to find? What were we trying to find? Let me go back. What were we trying to find? How many more, right? How many more students chose summer than winter? So that is what we were trying to find. How many more students chose summer than winter as their favorite season? What did the little smiley stand for in the key? 1 smiley equals how many students? 5 students. Good job. So now let's complete the table. Favorite season, number of smileys, students for each smiley equals number of students. So winter would be 4 times 5 equals how many students? 20. And then summer, we had 6 smileys times 5 students equals 30. Good job. Then how did we figure out the difference? How many more? Finding the difference, subtracting. How many more students chose summer than chose winter? 30 minus 20 equals 10. So 10 more students chose summer. Good job. Number 5. Explain why the key is important when you are solving a problem that has a picture graph. Give you about 20 seconds to think about that one. Explain why the key is important when you are solving a problem that has a picture graph. The key tells you the value of each picture or symbol in the picture graph. You must know the value of each picture to figure out the value for each row in the picture graph. So that key is the most important part on a picture graph. You always need to be making sure you're paying attention to what that key is representing, because if you don't, you could be solving the entire problem incorrectly, and that wouldn't be so fun. So now I'm going to show you 2 problems that I have made into a Google form. So what you're going to do after you watch me review the 2 problems, you're going to hop onto our Google Classroom and you are going to solve these 2 problems for your math today. All right. So the first one that you're going to see is apply your thinking to a new problem. Question 7. So we have a favorite season, picture graph. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Key, which we just reviewed, that is so important. Each little smiley stands for 5 students. How many students did not choose spring or summer? And then the next one that you are going to work on is, again, favorite season. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Our key, each little smiley stands for 5 students. How many more students chose spring or fall than chose summer? How many more? So really be paying close attention to those key words. So remember, question 7 and question 9, they are in a Google form in our classroom for you to complete today to let me know that you've listened to the lesson and practice solving picture graphs. So keep up the great work, guys. I hope you're doing well. Miss ya.